Hello, you guys probably know what today's going to be. Roblox Store's Entity Tier List. Alright, so let's start with Timothy. I'm gonna be honest, it's very simple, but it's very effective. You open a random drawer, and boom, it just comes out of nowhere. And just gives you just jump scares you like that. That's an A tier right there. A tier. I put actually maybe the B tier. It's a little spider. Alright, next. Jack. I mean, Jack doesn't really do a lot. I remember what you call it. When you remember I made that doors video, I just kind of opened the closet and randomly he just appears. But like after that, I pretty much never see him when playing the game, like twice. I mean, so I'd probably give him like a C. Rush. Now Rush, this guy kills me with you call it a lot if I'm like not using headphones. Cause like you never hear him, like you legit never like if you're not using headphones. But with you, so but like it is like a cool entity because like it kind of rushes and then like it kind of tries to get you. And I'm pretty sure what you call it like closer you get like higher up throughout the room, so like there's like a chance that like whenever he goes through a room, it'll become like a dark room where like Screech can pop out. So I guess that'd be around between a C and B. I'm just gonna put it in like if I had a tier for between C and B, it'd go there. So I'm just gonna put him in C. Ambush. Ambush. I mean, ambush is basically rush, but a bit more annoying because like you have to get in and out of the closet at like the right timing and stuff, which like can be difficult with you, especially for like newer players. Like for me when I first started doors, this guy was like really hard. So, but hey, it's kind of change in difficulty that the game does need. Like when you like the later doors, like door 70 around that area. So yeah. Now we have Screech. Screech. Okay. Now, this guy kills me a lot and jump scares me a lot. Now, I would put it in the D tier, but even though it's very scary, Doors is a horror game. So it does what it's supposed to do very well. So I put it around between B and A, but I'm gonna keep it in B because it's very scary. Alright. Seek. I don't think I need to explain S tier. This is an S tier because you get him when you around when you normally around door 30 to door 50 is when you normally see him. Now, if you're a first time player, you probably have no idea what is going on. And it's very difficult to do it on your first try. Like I remember I did on my first doors video, I like tried to do this, and I somehow managed to pull it off on my first try. But damn, was that hard though? Like legit. Seek is like he's hard, but like he's not too hard. He gives the game like a good change of pace, and then which is also my argument for why Figure is in the A tier. The reason I put Figure below Seek is because Figure, well, Seek, what do you call it? It kind of makes sense, like his texture. It's like a kind of goo man it's kind of like a goo man coming out and chasing you. I guess it makes sense for the most part, but Figure, well, it doesn't really make as much sense. Like, I suppose maybe later on the devs are gonna add some more lore as to who Figure really is. But until then, I'm gonna keep him in A tier. The reason he's not lower down is because just like with Seek, he adds what you call it, kind of like a change of pace in the game. Because like normally you're going like I go at a medium pace, Seek, it starts to go up like a crazy, really fast. And then after you do Seek, it's like normally after you do Seek, it's a couple doors after, you have to do a figure. At least when I play the game. And then, so you just came out of Seek, having to just run for your life. But now, here you have to be slow and steady, take your time, and think about every move you make. So, I'd say that figure is an A tier for these reasons. Alright, next entity, Eyes. Now, Eyes is a more rare entity. Now, when you do get him, he does feel like he feels like a good idea, like for an entity. I personally think that maybe for like chapter 2, like floor 2, an idea for Eyes might be like normally you have to like look at him in order not look at him in order to not take damage and die. What if like floor 2, there's like a version of Eyes that like you have to look at him, otherwise you take damage. So I think it's like a cool entity, although it can be annoying, cause like if you get him in like one of the if you get him like one of the rooms, well it can be annoying because like so one time I was playing the game and I managed to get 3 eyes in a row and it was just really annoying, and he could also be kind of annoying like one of the rooms was like the bookshelf and like you have to like go around and find the lever. It can be kind of annoying in there, so I put him in C tier. Now lastly you have Heart. Now I think Heart is actually a cool entity because you know the guiding light. So the guiding light is the entity that helps you through the entire game. Now the guiding light is blue, and for Heart, the only thing you were able to see are like Heart's blue eyes. So what I think the blue eyes are, it's like the guiding light's way of telling you, hey, there's actually an entity right here. So this could mean a lot of lore. And while the entity itself is actually a cool concept, because just like with figure, it has a change of pace, makes you have to slow down. But at the same time, it's not as slow as figure, so it's kind of like in between Seek and figure, if that kind of makes sense. And just the opportunities for lore this entity has, and one thing is that I actually just know. Hold on. I actually just realized this like about like a day ago that both Seek and Screech have some kind of like black goo. So like maybe Screech is like one of the like being commanded by Seek. So like maybe Seek is like is like the main antagonist of Doors 41. It'll just make sense. I mean, a lot of people are saying Figure might be the main antagonist, but and it would make sense because he's the only entity that can like make it from like different doors. Because like he goes from door 50, then later he just pops up at door 100. So I think maybe these guys are connected in some way. So maybe what you call it Figure also has an entity that's related to him. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Halt is actually an interesting entity, and I guess I'll put him in B tier. And then of course you have the Guiding Light, who isn't here, but like is still in the base in the game. You know the guy who gives you like the loading screen tips? Not the loading screen, the death screen tips. The Guiding Light would have to be in S tier, because if it was here, you're in S tier, because he helps you throughout the entire game. There are some theories made by fans saying that the guiding light might be evil and is guiding us towards a fate worse than death. But that's a theory, and it might be that's a cool theory, but I personally don't think that's a correct theory. Oh, also I just realized. Oh wait, this tier list is missing an entity. It's missing Glitch. You know the guy who comes up if like you're behind someone, if like you get too much behind, or if a door fails to load in. That guy, I would say in terms of what do you call it, like an actual entity, he's not actually, he's not that much of an entity. I consider him more of a game mechanic because, well, he kind of teleports you around and stuff, which is why Hyde also is not on this list, because he's more of a game mechanic if you really think about it. Because he stops you from hiding for too long, which if you're asking me is more of a game mechanic. So that's also why Hyde's not on this tier list, if that makes sense. But one thing about Glitch that was interesting as an entity is that if you do die the Glitch, the guiding light will say that he's unable to figure out who killed you, which is interesting because that means that maybe Glitch isn't actually canon in terms of the actual lore of the game. So yeah, this has been my Doors entity tier list. Tell me let me know if you guys agree with my tier list of the Doors entity. If you're asking me, you notice how none of them were actually in the D list? Because personally, in my opinion, all the entities that we have on this list have their own unique purpose that do different things throughout the game. Except for you, Timothy! Like and subscribe if you want.